For millennia, the Motherworld has been governed by a lineage of 1,000 successive kings, whose dominance extended from their home planet to the conquest of new worlds for resources. However, the reign of these monarchs was abruptly halted when an assassin eliminated the king and queen, putting an end to their bloodline. In the vacuum of power, Senator Belisarius seized control and embarked on quelling rebellions across the Empire's outer reaches. To enforce his authority, Belisarius dispatched his ruthless commander, Atticus Noble, to suppress the insurgency. Atticus Noble, portrayed by Ed Skrein, arrives on the remote moon of Veldt as the brutal admiral of the militaristic Imperium, representing the Motherworld, an interstellar empire sustained by centuries of expansion and conflict. Veldt, a humble farming community, becomes the backdrop for Noble's arrival. Here, Kora toils in the fields while being pursued by Den, a local farmer. Kora, having spent only 2 seasons on Veldt, describes herself as a product of warfare, having been stripped of the notion of family during her transformation into a soldier. As the Dreadnought descended into their atmosphere, the villagers were filled with apprehension. Kora quickly sounded the alarm among them. Among the villagers, Gunnar, a farmer, advocated cooperating with the Imperium, seeing them as potential partners. However, Kora countered, asserting that the Imperium's nature was to dominate rather than collaborate. She recalled how Gunnar had sold surplus produce to rebels in the previous season. Kora urged for compliance with the Imperium's demands before they resorted to more drastic measures. Sindri, the village leader, adamantly refused to entertain negotiations with the Imperium. Noble arrived, explaining that his troops were in pursuit of rebel siblings, Devra and Darien Bloodaxe, and offered to purchase the village's surplus grain at 3 times the market value. He cited the rebels' attacks on Imperial ports and stores, resulting in a shortage of provisions for the army. Despite Noble's offer, Sindri declined, citing the village's struggle to survive amidst rocky terrain and harsh winters. Gunnar contradicted Sindri, suggesting that the village might indeed have surplus grain. In a ruthless display, Noble executed Sindri and coerced Gunnar into preparing the required amount of grain within 10 weeks, leaving the village with barely enough to sustain itself. The village's harvest amounted to 12,000 bushels, of which Noble demanded 10,000 for the Imperium's army. Noble leaves behind a small contingent of soldiers, including Marcus, known for his cruelty, and Private Eris, who has grown disenchanted with the Imperium and the moral corruption of the Motherworld. Alongside them is a Jimmy robot, JC-1435, portrayed by Anthony Hopkins, assigned to oversee the harvest. The Jimmy robots, driven by a programming quirk, refused to engage in combat following the death of the king. Under the pressure of Marcus's harassment, Jimmy begins to exhibit signs of independence. Among the villagers, Sam extends empathy towards Jimmy and forms a bond with the robot. Jimmy confides in Sam, recounting the tale of their slain monarch and his daughter Isa, who is meant to bring about peace and prosperity throughout the Empire. Jimmy draws parallels between Sam and Isa, emphasizing that Jimmys were created to safeguard Isa. Meanwhile, Kora contemplates fleeing the village as Gunnar and Den opt to appease the Imperium and hope for mercy. However, her plans change when she discovers soldiers, including Marcus, holding another villager, Sam, and Eris hostage with intentions of sexual assault. Kora, portrayed by Sofia Boutella, intervenes and, with assistance from Jimmy, who has defected from the soldiers, eliminates the attackers. This act is unprecedented, as Jimmy robots had abstained from killing since Isa's demise. Kora warns the villagers that Noble will unleash a massacre upon his return, unless they organize a defense. Kora and Gunnar set off for the port town of Providence with the intention of rallying fighters for the village's defense. Among their targets is Titus, a former Imperium general who betrayed his own forces. Accompanying Kora on this mission, Gunnar hopes to locate the Bloodaxe siblings, whom he had previously supplied with grain. During their journey, Kora confides in Gunnar about her past. She reveals that she was once a soldier in the Imperium, adopted and renamed Arthelaus by Belisarius, an Imperium commander who slaughtered her family and destroyed her home planet when she was just 9 years old. By the age of 18, she had risen to the rank of officer, fighting for an empire responsible for her family's demise. Kora recounts her role as the bodyguard of Princess Isa, believed to possess the power to grant life. Despite her efforts, Kora failed to protect Isa during her coronation, where the royal family was assassinated, leading Belisarius to declare himself regent and resume conquests. Upon reaching Providence, they discover from Gunnar's contact that Titus is likely on Pollux. Along the way, they enlist the help of smuggler Kai, who agrees to transport them to recruit Titus. During their journey to Pollux, Kai introduces them to 2 additional warriors, Tarek, a skilled beast tamer, and Nemesis, an adept swordswoman with cybernetic enhancements. Upon reaching a gladiator arena on a remote moon, they find Titus in a state of inebriation. Despite initial reluctance, Titus agrees to join their cause, driven by the opportunity to avenge his fallen soldiers who perished after his surrender to Belisarius. Utilizing Gunnar's prior connections with the Bloodaxes, they journey to the planet Charon, the homeland of King Levitica, to negotiate with them and their rebellion, aiming to enlist their support. Darian agrees to aid in defending the village and brings along a group of rebels, led by Milius, while Devra opposes the idea of confronting Noble's formidable Dreadnought, the King's Gaze, considering it futile and a drain on their resources. She argues that such a massive warship cannot be combated effectively with only a handful of fighters. Following their departure from Charon, Noble arrives and ruthlessly annihilates its inhabitants as punishment for aiding the rebels. Kai confides in Kora, expressing his newfound admiration for her cause, and decides to abandon his criminal lifestyle. He discloses his final smuggling assignment, intending to sever ties with that life, and join Kora in her mission to protect the village. Taking them to a trading post where Noble's vessel has docked, Kai betrays the group, except for Gunnar, revealing his intention to turn them over to Noble in exchange for the bounties on their heads, a decision he had apparently planned all along. Noble singles out Kora, Tarek, Nemesis, and Titus due to their backgrounds. Kora and Titus as defectors, Tarek as a former prince turned criminal, and Nemesis as the avenger of her slain children, having killed several Imperial officers in retaliation. Noble envisions presenting their bodies to the regent as a means to secure his status as a hero of the realm, earning himself a coveted seat on the Senate. Kai pressures Gunnar to immobilize Kora, but Gunnar chooses to release her and ultimately dispatches Kai himself. The rest of the warriors are freed as well, sparking a fierce confrontation. In the ensuing battle, casualties include Darian and Noble, the latter meeting his demise at Kora's hands. Darian sacrifices himself to destroy Noble's vessel, a pivotal action ensuring the survival of the remaining fighters. They subsequently return to Veldt together, while Jimmy observes from a distance as they make their way back to the village. Motherworld forces retrieve Noble's body, and he undergoes a resurrection after communing on an astral plane with Belisarius. Belisarius tasks Noble with quelling the rebellion and capturing Kora alive for his personal execution.
In the expansive galaxy under the iron grip of the oppressive Imperium, governed by the formidable Motherworld, the tranquil moon of Veldt becomes the battleground for Kora's shattered dreams of peace. The Admiral's noble Imperial forces descending upon the village to claim its vital crops, Kora realizes that defiance is her only recourse to protect her home. Joined by her steadfast ally Gunnar, they embark on a quest to assemble a courageous band of warriors to defy Noble's tyranny. Teased as Part 1, A Child of Fire, this cinematic odyssey, guided by the vision of director Zack Snyder and crafted in collaboration with Kurt Johnstad and Shay Hatton, expands upon Snyder's original concept, once envisioned for the Star Wars universe. Across diverse planets, our protagonists journey, each stop a vibrant tapestry woven by the skilled hands of production designers. As the narrative unfolds, Snyder's boundless creativity hints at a universe ripe with untold tales, setting the stage for potential future chapters in this epic saga. In Rebel Moon, despite a stellar cast featuring Charlie Hunnam, Jimon Hounsou, and Ray Fisher, character development falls short. While Snyder teases intricate backstories for all, only Kora receives significant exploration through monologues and flashbacks. Though Kora shines as a captivating lead, her journey often lacks emotional depth. The ensemble suffers from underdevelopment, with minimal interaction among them. Jimmy emerges as the most fleshed out besides Kora, yet his presence diminishes early on. The film's main flaw lies in its fragmented narrative, focusing heavily on team assembly. While a sequel offers promise, the lack of robust character and plot evolution undermines the film's potential. Despite curiosity for what lies ahead, the ending lacks the urgency to immediately continue the story. For fans of Snyder's style, Rebel Moon promises familiar traits, impeccably sculpted characters, engaged in intense action scenes, visually stunning cinematography, and an abundance of slow motion, a technique some may find tiring, but let's not dwell on that. Following Snyder's tradition, Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, will likely offer an extended director's cut on Netflix, potentially addressing some character and plot concerns. However, if an extended version is required to grasp only a fraction of the narrative, perhaps the original release falls short of its full potential. As thanks for watching the whole video, here's a picture of a cute puppy. And if you have a movie or TV show that you want us to cover, just comment it down below. We'll make a video of it in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our playlist for more recaps.